Guys, I want to get to some Lions talk. By the way, how, I don't want to say great, but it was a little awesome yesterday not having the Lions playing.
Relaxing.
It was relaxing, and it was relaxing, I think, because they came in off the win and are 6-2 instead of that loss 5-3. If they were 5-3 after a loss to the Raiders, you want to play. You want to sit there and you want to get back out there as quickly as possible. But it was nice to take a little breather.
Hell yeah.
With a 6-2 record, it was kind of nice.
Not to mention they're number 2 in the NFC. That was a great nap, and they stayed number 2 obviously because of the Eagles. We'll talk about that, but yeah, it's great, man. When you're sitting at 2 as a fan or a player, you're sitting at number 2 in your conference, 6-2. Life is good. Life is absolutely good.
No doubt. I wanted to talk to this. Brad Holmes. Dan Campbell said today that the Lions are getting healthier. The 3 players that were out, they'll know tomorrow and how they gear up in the practice, but they all participated today, and it all looks good, trending towards the right direction to have them play Sunday at the Chargers, David Montgomery included. First of all, we said, Bray, key to the second half, get healthy and stay healthy.
Yeah.
If these guys can get healthy, that's step 1 in the process.
100%. Get these guys healthy. And part of getting guys healthy is, it's trusting the players. At the same time, it's also giving them a little push in the right direction if they need some. So they've done a good job sitting guys out. They could have had guys potentially play last week, I believe, but they said sit guys out. You get them for the next week when you play against the Chargers this coming week. So get guys healthy. Ease them back into the process. But if you see that they can go, it's time to get them back.
And I think, Maz, that's one of the reasons why they didn't put David Montgomery on the IR or Jonah Jackson.
They got him back an extra
Frank
week early.
Now,
yep.
right,
We need those guys back, man. Do you know, out of the 8 games that they've played, they've had 7 different line combinations. 7 different offensive line combos. When they're playing their best 5, they are top 3 in the league. They have been patchworked all through this, and they still have 6 wins. You got to be happy about that. Could have had 7 if they just tightened it up against Seattle.
Definitely got to be happy about that, Maz. And you bring up a good point, getting guys back, Ryan Ermanni. See, now is the time, especially look at the way the schedule is shaping up. See, this team hasn't had everybody play together. So now is the time to build chemistry. Now is the time to build cohesion going into, well, not the playoffs yet. Let me not get ahead of myself. But as we're getting ready for that stretch run to win the division, to get into the playoffs, to host our first game at home, you got to get guys to understand guys like Jameson. Like, you got to understand Jameson. You got David Montgomery. You'll get him back. You got to get David Montgomery now back, playing with Jahmyr Gibbs, who's now playing a lot better. It's on the defensive side as well. So the cohesion and the chemistry is what's very valuable right now because they got to remember, this is still a young team and it's still a new team to a certain extent. Got to build that chemistry now so that when you're in January, you're not looking around trying to figure out what a guy is thinking and what a guy is on. You know what that guy is thinking. You know what's going without even having to talk to him.
It's so important to get these guys all together. And again, they're coming up on a portion of their schedule, too, that is ripe for the pickings, man. If you can just somehow say, well, Maz, what did you say about the offensive line combinations?
7 out of 8 games have been different.
It's hard to win that way.
Yes.
And it just speaks to the depth that this team has. I wanted to play for you this audio from Dan Campbell earlier today. This is what he said when asked about what the team's goals are now moving forward.
December, we need to be playing our best football collectively and up to date. Like the Chargers, we need to play our best football game. We still have left so much out there, and as good as we played to get 6 wins, we've been able to complement each other, but yet I would say we have not played our best football collectively, offense, defense, and special teams. So we got to play a clean game. We got to come out with no turnovers. We need to get our takeaways back. We talked about red zone and those things. We need a fast start in the third quarter. So I just think cleaning some of those things up, our focus to the details of what we're doing, got to take another step up, another notch up.
Isn't that money?
Yeah.
They have left so much out there that by December, so that's 3 games more. Yeah. They've got the Chargers, they've got the Bears, and they've got the Packers on Thanksgiving Day before they get to December. This week specifically, but over the next 3 weeks for sure, You want to be playing your
Yeah.
best football going into December here, Braylon, when it really matters. And I think that is a great goal for this football team. Not play hard, because they have been playing hard, but just put it all together. I feel like this team has not put it all together just yet.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see when they all put together. And he's absolutely right. You know, when Dave Montgomery has gone off, Jared Goff has had just an okay game. When Jared Goff was going off and David Montgomery was hurt early on in the year, trying to figure Jameer Gears out, that didn't necessarily look good. You look on defense, they get some players healthy, they get some players back, they get some players injured. And also, playing your best football, how you get to that point, you start to play. Every play matters. Every play counts. It's no longer. It can't be the next play. It's got to be that play. Teams that are clicking on all cylinders, they look like the Eagles did last night. Teams that are not clicking on all cylinders look like the Dallas Cowboys. Damn good team, but you know who was a better team. That's what the Lions want to do. The Lions want to get to the point where you know they're not leaving anything out there. And you don't want to leave anything out there in November and December, because that's the difference between first and NFC, and it's also the difference between confidence. It's also the difference between have done it. If you do it, we can do it again.
Hey, go back to the teams in the 90s. The 91 team that won the playoff game. After that, all those Wayne Fonts teams, they all started getting hot around Thanksgiving and made their playoff push. The 90s Lions made the playoffs as much as any other team in the NFL. They only won one game, but they made the playoffs a lot. You forget about that.
Right, 91, 93,
Yeah.
95, 97, 99,
Just like
five times.
Yeah, like the Cowboys. And they beat that young Cowboy team that became a Super Bowl champion just a few years after that. The big triplets that were just starting. So this team just has to get healthy, guys. It's very simple, this game. If you're healthy, look at Joe Burrow last night.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow looks like Tom Brady. When he's healthy, he's the man. When he was limping on one leg the first 3-4 weeks of the season, we said, oh man, Joe Burrow's all done. Get healthy. Last year they were the healthiest team down the stretch, and they would have been a danger had they made the playoffs. Just get healthy. Keep your fingers crossed, Lion fans. That's all you got to hope for, because they got the goods.
It's funny you brought up that Dallas Cowboys team. I was watching the interview recently, and it was talking about, I think it was talking Jimmy Johnson. It was talking about how he had the jump in terms of the draft classes. When you come in out of college, you know all the players that you played against. You know all the players that you missed out on and picking up. Same thing with Pete Carroll. Look, when he got to Seattle after leaving USC. So I thought that was interesting. But, yeah, one of the other things about staying healthy, people probably think out there like, how are you going to stay healthy? If you get hurt, you're hurt. Right. How you stay healthy is how you come in for treatment. How your coaches has you in practice. Does he make you practice when you shouldn't practice? Does he lay off? Does he actually let you have too many free days off? And now you come back with a little stuff and you maybe get a little strain or something. It's about the coach and the training working together, working cohesion with the player as well. That's how you stay healthy. There's certain things you got to do. You got to take care of your body. You got to do the little things they tell you. Coming after practice for the stem. Coming in, ice your ankle in the morning or whatever is hurting. Get the ultrasound. You got to do what you got to do to stay healthy. It's not what they tell you to do. Like real players, true professionals, they want to take care of themselves. They're at the facilities at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. They're staying late, getting extra treatment and things like that. You're a part of that process as a player, and I think they understand that down in Allen Park.
Yeah, and, you know, for the Detroit Lions to where they are in the season, to be 6-2 and not play your best football, that has to give you a little bit of confidence as well when you know that you're winning games and you're not really playing your best football. You know, I mean, you can go in, not play your best, and just take a look at the Raiders game as an example of that. They had 3 turnovers, including a pick 6, had a touchdown called back, and missed a field goal, and they still won by double digits. Yeah. What Lions team do you know that could overcome all of that? Yeah. And a touchdown called back, by the way.
None.
So that's a pretty darn good place to be if you're the Detroit Lions.
I just want to say something about that loss to the Ravens. They're good. Look what they did to Seattle yesterday. They're good.
I was thinking about that yesterday too when they put a hurt on Seattle. It's like, does that change your mind about the Lions' loss? The way the Ravens manhandled Seattle, does that change the way you feel about the Lions' loss? Because I don't think there's too many people today that are sitting back calling Seattle a fraud or saying they haven't played anybody or saying that their season's over or they can't beat anybody. Nobody's saying that today about Seattle. They're talking about how good Baltimore is, but it's not about how bad Seattle is.